Hello my lovelies, it is time for my May Wheel of TBR, so stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Wheel of TBR is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. The way this one works is I spin my wheel, I pick a book based on the prompt on the wheel, and I also mark on my wheel. If any slice gets 5 marks, then I have to do a bonus spin. And I do a base of 5 spins. I don't mark on my bonus spins. But that base of 5 spins can change depending on punishment spins, or also when I play my Better Book It game, if I fail to complete that, I have to add a base spin. If I succeed, I get to take a spin away. So if you watched my Better Book It video, which I will link up here, you will know that I failed. So I will have 6 base spins this month. And I do need to correct something from last month. Somebody pointed out that there was one time that I didn't mark the board, and I looked back on the video and that was correct. So here for Buzzword, I'm actually supposed to have another mark there. So there we go. So let's start out with how I did for April. Now, as of filming this, it is actually April 15th. I'm leaving in a couple of days to go on another trip, and I won't be back until the end of the day, May 2nd. So I'm needing to film this early. So yeah. All right. So rolling over from March into April, I had Joe and Lori. I think that was by Margaret Stoll and Melissa De La Cruz. And I did read that. And then for my April spins, for the first one was A to Z. I did a random wheel. I did a wheel thing to pick a random letter. And I had to pick a book with, the author had that last name. It started with that letter. Words are hard. For that, I selected The Bookbinder's Guide to Love by Catherine Gabrera. And at this point in time, I have so many books left on my TBR that I don't know that I'm actually going to get to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take a punishment spin for it and say that I'm not going to be trying to read that before the end of April. So let me go ahead and spin the wheel and put the mark for that one. Okay, so that landed on nonfiction, which already has 4 marks. So I'm going to go ahead and erase those. I don't pick a book for my punishment spin, but it did add a mark on the board. So because of that, I now have a base of 7 spins that I have to do. Okay, for the prompt face, I was to read Zora Books Are Happy Ever After by Taj McCoy, and I did read that. For POC, I was to read Legendborn by Tracy Dion, and I did read that. For Wildcard, I was to read Tag You're Dead by Catherine Foxfield, and I did read that. And for Number in the Title, I selected One by One by Frida McFadden. I have not read that one, but I had a hold on it on Libby, and it's come through. So I'm going to get that one. So that'll be my, if I don't finish it by the end of this month, it'll be rolled over. But I'm pretty sure that's when I'll get finished. So I'm also participating in a few different things. I'm participating in Buzzword, the word as well as the cover challenge. So I need to try to find a book that will fit those. For the Buzzword, it's the word to, T-O, or to, T-O-O. And for the cover, it's eyes on the cover. And then I'm also doing my own TBR Knockout. If you haven't seen the announcement video for that, I'll link it up here. The theme for May is flowers. And with this, you get 2 prompts, and you can either do one or the other or choose to combine them. And those 2 prompts are flowers on the cover or in the title, and yellow on the cover or the spine. So if I can find a book that will fit these, well, hopefully I can. And I'm also participating in TBR Trail, but the prompts for that aren't going to come out until closer to the end of the month for the May prompts. So I'll have to just hopefully the books that I fit into this TBR I can use for that. So one of the other games that I play is Have I Read It, where you get to vote on which book or books I have to add to my TBR. So for Have I Read It number 92, the winner of that was Forever Neverland by Susan Adrian. And that's like a Peter Pan retelling. For Have I Read It number 93, I had to pick the top 2 voted books. And that was, in first place was My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. And in second place was An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. So I got a lot of things that I need to try to fit into my TBR. Also, let me check something real quick. Okay, I just checked and my book buddy of the month has gotten back to me on what book buddy we're going to be reading for my coffee patrons, as well as the required read that I have to do for the month. So for my required read, she picked Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. Let me see what that is. Okay, this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling set in the fantasy fae realm. And then for my buddy read with my coffee patrons, we're going to be reading Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. So I need to fit those in as well. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots of things to try to fit in. Well, we got 7 spins. Also, I have a few danger zones here because they already have 4 marks on them. So, water has 4, coffee, Have I Read It extras, and sprayed edges all have 4 marks on them. So, if I land on any of those, I'll have to do even more spins. For the first 7, however, I will be marking on them. Anything after that, I don't mark. All right, let's get started with spin number 1. Well, there we go. Sprayed edges. And now I have 1 bonus spin as well. All right, let me see what I can find. Okay, so what I did was I have like a huge stack, or several stacks of books here on the floor that need to go on my shelves at some point. But they're just currently sitting on my floor because I have no room. But some of them had sprayed edges, so I just grabbed the first one, and that was The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. She'll fight for her life for the god of death. Okay, so let me erase that, and we will replace sprayed edges with, trying to grab just one, comedy. All right, spin number 2. Oh my gosh. That's another danger zone. So we have 2 bonus spins. Okay. So this is like water on the cover, or maybe a water word in the title. Let me see what I can find. Actually, right here on top of this stack of books, I have Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. And there's water on the cover. So this is what I'm going to select for that. 10 Days, 8 Suspects, 6 Cities, 5 Authors, 3 Bodies, 1 Trip to Die For. So far my little stack here has been handy. Alright, let me erase those. And we will replace water with Marty Pick. Okay, so if Marty Pick comes up, then I'll have to wait until later because he's currently at work. Maybe I could send him a picture and he could pick, but we'll see. Okay, so that was spin number 2. Now to spin number 3. Goodreads. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to scroll through Goodreads, and I'm going to pick the first book that I see that I own, that I haven't read. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I see is somebody saying Brother Odd, which is Odd Thomas number 3. I haven't read the second book, though, so I suppose I could put that, like the second book in the Odd Thomas series, or we can scroll and see what else comes up. Okay, so the first book that came up Amanda Carter rated it 1 star. That's Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. Looks like that. Okay. So let me see if I can find that. Okay, so I think that one is in an area where I can't really get to right now, but I was able to grab, I think this is the sequel, which is Immorality, a Love Story. So I'm just going to put this in its place as a placeholder. Okay, let's add a mark to this one. It's not marking very bright. Okay, we will replace Goodreads with Out of Comfort Zone. All right, spin number 4. Comedy. Okay, let's see what I got. Okay, so for this I was looking for like a romantic comedy, and I'm pretty sure this is one of those. That is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. She's writing his love story, but can she rewrite her own? All right, let's mark that. And we will replace comedy with new author. A book by an author I've never read before. Okay, spin number 5. Bookish book. Okay, I got one of those in this stack right here. The Story Collector. In a quiet village in Ireland, a mysterious local myth is about to change everything. And I can tell it's going to be a bookish book because, I mean, there's books all over the cover. Alright. I might have to replace my marker soon. It's not wanting to mark for me. Okay, we will replace bookish book with a hoopla wreck. Alright, spin number 6. Standalone. Okay, probably got one in this pile. Okay, so for this, I've picked another one out of my pile here. I'm going to go with What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. There were 11 when they sent a killer to prison. They were heroes, but they were liars. All right, let's mark that. Okay, it marked. It's kind of hard to see, but it marked. I'm definitely going to have to get another dry erase. Okay, let's replace standalone with romance. Okay, so this is our final base spin. So spin number 7. Still have 2 bonus spins to do though. All right, here we go. Buzzword. Okay, so for this, I can pick either for the buzzword or for the buzzword cover. So let me see. Eyes or 2. Okay, for this one, I'm going to go with this special edition of Assistant to the Villain. It comes in this beautiful box, which also has an eye on the cover. And I guess as far as the actual cover here, the frog has eyes, you can see. But it also has the word 2. This says, assistant wanted, notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general. Discretion a must. Excellent benefits. Oh my goodness, this stack is huge. Okay, so this is the last one I'm marking on. And we will replace buzzword with alternate world. This could be like a Fey realm or sci-fi world or whatever. Okay, so now for my first bonus spin. For these, I do still change out the prompt, but I just don't mark on them. All right, here we go. Most anticipated. Interesting. You know what? I'm going to help myself out here and say the one I'm most anticipating reading is going to be the required read by my book buddy of the month, because I love a good retelling, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So for that, I will be selecting Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. And I'm going to grab a random book to stick in its place. Okay, so replacing most anticipated with Cards Against My TBR Answer. Oh, I don't play this anymore. Okay, let me take this one out. Let me draw another one. Have I read it? Okay. So this is different from my Have I Read It extras. Well, they're right beside each other. The Have I Read It extras is actually the ones that are on my These Books Will Self-Destruct shelf, because I've had them way past when I've done the Have I Read It for those particular books. And then this is for like a current Have I Read It, or I currently need to read for my Have I Read It. Okay. Was that the last one? I can't remember. No. We have one more bonus spin. Here we go. Oh, friend pick. Okay. So I'm going to grab a stack of these books that are right here. I'll grab 5. Okay. I grabbed these 5 here. So I have Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ricci, Love in Translation by Joss Wood, Hungry Hearts, 13 Tales of Food and Love, edited by Elsie Chapman and Caroline Tung Richmond, The Lost Daughter of Venice by Charlotte Beats, and The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. I'm going to take a picture of these and send it to my friend and see which one she wants me to read. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry the angle changed. So fortunately, or I should say unfortunately, my camera just glitched and I lost the last clip that I just did. But fortunately, I had stopped the camera before I sent the picture to my friend. So the only clip that got corrupted was when I was telling you what she picked. So I also told you what I picked for TBR Knockout, but I can tell you that again. Okay, so she selected The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. This is inspired by Fleetwood Mac, the Manson murders, and the infamous summer Percy and Mary Shelley spent with Lord Byron at a Lake Geneva castle, the birthplace of Frankenstein. Rachel Hawkins, The Villa invites you into its deadly legacy. And for Buzzword, I already told you I was going to be reading Assistant to the Villain. But for TBR Knockout, it just so happened that one of the books that I selected fits both prompts for TBR Knockout. So that's what I'm going to be selecting. That is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies, because there is yellow on the cover as well as the spine, and there are also flowers on the cover. So this is what I'm going to select for TBR Knockout. And I also need to change out friend pick for next time. We have book that involves a game. Okay, so here's my very large stack of books for May. So for Sprayed Edges, I have The Games Gods Play. For Water on the cover, as well as for TBR Knockout, I have Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. For Goodreads, I have Anatomy, a Love Story. For comedy, I have The Rom-Commers. For a bookish book, I have The Story Collector. For a standalone, I have What Lies in the Woods. For the Buzzword spin, as well as Buzzword, I have Assistant to the Villain. For most anticipated, I have Bonded by Thorns. And then for friend pick, I have The Villa. Oh my goodness. Whew, that was rough on the arms. Have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!